Hello and welcome to the AJ Storytime channel for kids. If you are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell so you receive the notifications of when I'm reading live. Today we are going to continue with our spring story times, and today's title is about frogs. Our storytime theme for today is frog. The first book we are reading is called Incredible Animal Life Cycles, and this is the life cycle of a frog by Karen Lashana Kidney. Now, if you don't know anything about frog, today you're going to learn some great and important information. We might see a few of them now in the spring and the summertime. Chapter 1, Floating Eggs. Small clear eggs float in a palm. Each one has a dark center. The dark spots wriggle and twist. What are they? Frog embryo. The embryos grow into tadpoles and they break free into the water. They keep changing until they are adult frogs. Each change in a step in their life cycle. Frogs are amphibians, must start their lives in the water. That is where a female frog lays her eggs. The eggs need water or they will dry up. Do you know that frogs live on every continent except Antarctica? They need water. They absorb it through their skin. Some tree frogs make foam nets. The nets sit in a tree above water. They lay their eggs inside. The frogs release a liquid. Then they kick it with their legs. It makes millions of tiny bubbles. The foam hardens. It protects the growing eggs. Then the tadpole will hatch and drop into the water below. Do you know that some female frogs lay as many as 20,000 eggs at once? Wow, I didn't know that either, guys. Swimming tadpoles, Chapter 2. Inside each egg, the embryo grows. After a few days or weeks, it starts to wriggle, then a tadpole hatches. A tadpole doesn't look like a frog. It has a big head and a long tail. It is born with gills outside of its body. Soon they are replaced with gills inside of its body. New tadpoles are hungry. They eat the jelly from their eggs. Then they stick to plants and eat for a few days. Later, they search for small pieces of dead plants and animals. They might even eat frog or toad eggs. Ooh! The tadpoles grow. 4 little legs appear beneath their skin. The back legs pop out first. They get longer and bigger. Their front legs appear too. Then it is time for an even bigger change for the tadpoles. Do you know what is the change? What's the bigger change they call? Chapter 3, Hopping Frogs. The tadpoles get ready to live outside the water. They grow lungs. Their gills disappear. The tadpoles have been growing for 12 weeks. They are now froglets. They look tiny, frogs with tails. Their bodies slowly absorb their tails. This is the tail, and it starts going inside. Instead of keep growing, it's going shorter and shorter. As they grow bigger, their nails and tails disappear. They are finally adult frogs. They live on land and they use their strong legs to hop. Their long, sticky tongues snatch insects from the air. Take a look. Each frog goes through a life cycle. It has 4 stages. The first thing is the eggs, then they become tadpole, then they become froglets, and then they become adult. Wow, that's the life cycle of a frog. Each spring, frogs return to the water. The male's croak is a call to find a mate. They make this town with a special sack. A female frog lays her spawn. Then the male frogs add his sperm. The eggs stay in the water and they begin to grow. Soon new tadpole will hatch and the life cycle begins again. The end. Interesting story, right, guys? I have another book for you today. We are learning about frogs. Our next book is called Becoming a Frog by Grace Hansen. Tell me, do you know everything that I just read about frogs? If you didn't know, then that's great because that's what I want. I want you to learn. All frogs begin as eggs. Frogs lay their eggs in spring, and many frogs lay eggs in calm water like ponds. So if there is a pond behind your house, you might want to go and check. They might have frogs already growing there. Frogs lay up to 4,000 eggs at once. Eggs flow freely in water. Eggs are covered in a slimy material and it protects the eggs. Stage 2. A frog is in its egg for about 20 days. After the frog hatches, it is called a tadpole. A tadpole lives in water. It breathes through gills. It does not have legs yet. It uses its tail to swim. A tadpole eats algae. It grows and grows. As it grows, it sheds its skin. It also grows front and back legs. It is big enough to eat plants and insects. Stage 3. The froglet has a small tail now. Its legs are growing fast. It can breathe with lungs, but it stays in or near water. Stage 4. Soon the froglet's a small tail is gone. Its lungs develop completely. Its legs are full grown too. And now you know what happened now, right? The frog also has a tongue. It is sticky. The frog uses it to catch its food. Frogs go through big changes. The process can take up to 22 months. Adult frogs will find mates. They start the cycle all over again. A mate is like a wife for the frog, okay? So today we read books about frog. This book was called Becoming a Frog by Grace Hansen, and this one was called Incredible Animal Life Cycles, Life Cycle of a Frog. I hope that you enjoy and that you learned something today. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Goodbye.